Hello, welcome to Authentically You, where you're guided by light and you have all the power. Now, I'm gearing up to go on vacation, but I wanted to record this before I left because I wanted to do it yesterday, but yesterday was a long, wonderful day, and I was like, I'll do it at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, I was just completely wiped. But it's okay because it gave me time to reflect and think about what I want to say, how I want to say it, all that stuff. So, if you follow me on TikTok, I've been on the theme about love. And I was in ceremony a couple days ago. I've been reading the Sophia Code, and each chapter has an activation from a different goddess. So it was I've done the Isis one, Hathor, Green Terra, and a couple of days ago I did Mother Mary, which is the mother of Jesus Christ. And so I'll read through the activation out loud because that's how you're meant to do it in order for it to start working in your body and your DNA, things like that. And I'll usually read it and then I'll go into ceremony to integrate what I activated and what I'm activating within me. So that was Mother Mary. So I usually take about a week to integrate it all completely. So I'll start with reading it with the ceremony, and then I take the rest of the week to just integrate, because usually my reality will start reflecting what I'm integrating, and it's all part of the integration process. So it usually takes about a week or so before that I'm feeling called to go back and to read another chapter of the Sophia Code. So if you feel like you're called to teach and to talk to others about your journey and how you learned how to master your mind and things like that, I highly encourage you to read the Sophia Code, because it's been life changing for me. Not only does it basically validated a lot of my own personal experiences through my spirituality, things that I've only received through ceremonies, through going within, through meditation. It's basically confirmed for me through someone else who wrote a book about it, and it just felt so good to, like, okay, more validation, more confirmation that I've been following my intuition the right way, because okay, this is, I'm following the right path. So it's been a confirmation for me, and each activation has been great. Like, each goddess has something to show you, because each of these goddesses have been through the same experience. So they talk about their experience as a human doing this, that what we're doing, and they're giving you guidance, and their energy stays in your field to continue guiding you and mentoring you through your journey, because they know how difficult this journey is, and they know what you go through because they've been through it. It's an initiation process for a soul, basically, right? So they're like, we've been where you've been, and they talk about their experience, and they do this activation, and it's wonderful, and it's great to connect with those energies and to receive the love they have to receive, that they have to give to me as someone who's also going through the journey. So it's been really great. And so I did Mother Mary a couple days ago, and she was full of love, full of she opened my heart. She called it something like the rose or something. She talked about the heart opening like the same way that a rose blooms. And then right after that, I jumped into my ceremony, and it was so full of love, and love for myself, love that, it's like something in me clicked, and like someone flipped the love switch on inside of me, and I was just so, and yeah, okay, obviously it was a plant medicine journey, and obviously that heightens your emotions, your feelings, but even like days later now, I'm still feeling that love, and yesterday especially, but I want to start with the stream of consciousness that came through that night that I was in ceremony, that I just pulled my laptop out and I didn't even think. I was just like typing out, not as long as the last one. This one's shorter, and I shared it on TikTok, but I want to share it here on the podcast because then I want to talk about this and then about my day yesterday because I feel like it's all connected. So, it says, I've never experienced love like this. The kind of love that forgives but doesn't require me to abandon myself. Instead, it lifts me up and motivates me to grow and be the best version of myself through the things I create, through just being who I am. This love has seen all of my darkness and loves me without trying to change me. Instead, it accepts me as I am and pushes me to be the most authentic version of myself. There's no judgment, only curiosity. It encourages me to explore every part of who I am without having to shrink myself. I'm never seen as too much, but instead, I'm everything and more. I'm divine and carry the most loving essence that makes me magnetic and irresistible to those meant to be in my life. This love is transforming, peaceful in ways I never knew were possible. It forces me to surrender control to shape me into who I was always meant to become. Nova, daughter of light. Magnificent, real, captivating in the most unexplainable ways. The love I embody is otherworldly, and it pours in every direction as if it's rushing to echo it back to me because it overflows from the inside. Because I am the love I've always been searching for, and the same amount of love that I pour into myself is reflected back to me. Every word I speak is spoken with love. Every word I write is written with love. Every breath I take is taken with love. Every move I make is made with love. Every moment in everything I do it with the love I have pouring from my heart. I have found the most peaceful love, and I want to share it with others, as everyone deserves to experience this beautiful, transforming love. What we've been told about love doesn't begin to scratch the surface of how this type of love feels. I encourage you to go within to find that love within yourself. It's there, hiding beneath all the projections others have placed on you to distort the love you have deep inside. I promise you, it's there. You just can't see it, but that's why I'm here to show you how to find it. Like a treasure map, and you're the treasure that's found at the end of a grueling journey, but it makes it all worth it, I promise you. We were conditioned to believe we aren't worthy of having this type of love based on the environment we grew up in, because our parents grew up believing the same thing. It's been a series of generations that have been born believing that this type of love has to be earned when it's been within them all along. The outside world just distracts us from finding it, because when it's found, our eyes open to how evil this world truly is and how the only hell that ever existed was this one. But this love transforms us in a way that makes us magical and empowers us to believe in ourselves enough to break the cycles that have been keeping us trapped for centuries. Enough of us have woken up to this truth, and our love has been making ripples among the world, transforming it with more love and peace and less stress and survival. With this type of love is how we build our heaven on earth so that the bad begins falling away. I've never been loved like this before, and that love is coming from me. Now the world reflects that same love back to me. So, just want to take a moment because that was a lot of love. It was, like I said, I'm still feeling it. I'm still, the next day I woke up, I have a diner that I like going to a few times a week. Especially if I'm going to go out and do things outside of my home, I'll go there first to kind of like ground myself before I go on about my day. And I was sitting at the diner, and I was just observing the world around me. I was by a window, so I like looking out the window. I'm eating my chilaquiles with presence, just, like being like, man, this food is good. I'm very grateful for it. Just it's just a feeling at this point. I don't have to say it in my head. I just have that feeling of gratitude, and just I hear the conversations around me and just being present in my body. And then, I had a lot to do that day. I was helping my friend move out of her apartment, and I had already said I could be there for about an hour, so I have to be gone by 1 because I have other things to do. I had to go to the store to get things for my winter solstice event that I was hosting, and then I had my winter solstice event. So I had a lot of things to get done, but what I did different this time, because normally when I have a lot of things to do like that, I'll be like, oh my God, I gotta hurry up. I gotta do this. But what I did different yesterday, I didn't let that happen. Every time I thought about the things I need to get done, I just said, they'll get done. Things will get done, and I'm always on time. It doesn't matter. Everything is flowing in the way that it's meant to flow. And so I went to my friend's apartment because, she was going to have people assist her moving her things out. I was just there because I had helped with packing everything. So that's how I held my boundary, where I did the packing part. I'm there to just help them, guide them through what needs to get done, but I didn't do any of the moving. And I did say I have to leave by 1. Fortunately, it took a little longer, so I actually ended up leaving almost closer to 2, but it's okay. I didn't stress. I just said, it's okay. I'm still right on time. So then I went to the grocery store to get the items that I needed. No, I went to the pet store. I had to go to the pet store as well, because since I'm going out of town, my friend is gonna pet sit while I'm gone, and I wanted to make sure they were stocked up on all their food. And then the grocery store was right next door, so I went to the grocery store. And at that point, I hadn't fully decided what I wanted to do, and I decided I want to do something simple like charcuterie stuff, because I just did not have the capacity to cook or anything myself. So I decided to do hot chocolate with snacks and charcuterie stuff. Like my friend and I call it girl dinner things. So that's basically what I did. And I got a lot of stuff, and I had a lot of stuff already in the trunk, things like that. But I didn't let any of it stress me out. I just said, okay, I could figure this out. I got it. And by the time I left the grocery store, it was like past 3 o'clock. My event starts at 7:30, and I still had to get home, clean up, organize a little bit, and get things going as well here. So I didn't want to feel rushed, and I wanted to take my time and things like that. But I just kept saying, yep, everything's good. Everything's flowing just as it should. And throughout the day, I also noticed my person's energy getting pretty loud through the music and through things like that. And I felt his energy, I felt that energy almost tried to pull me into either thinking about him or wondering why the energy is being loud. But whenever that happened, I didn't let my mind wander. I just kept grounding myself and saying, I am Nova, daughter of light. That's my higher self. That's the highest version of who I am, Nova, daughter of light. So every time his energy tried to pull at me, I would just say, I am Nova, daughter of light. Like I'm already living the life of my dreams every time. And then it would bring my power back to me in a way that it's like I wasn't letting his energy pull me in anymore like before. And I just, I noticed that it was there. And plus I was busy doing and organizing and arranging things in my apartment to get ready for my event. And so yeah, anytime I noticed that, I just pulled it back into me. I'm Nova, daughter of light. I already have the life of my dreams. I already have my ideal life. I'm already doing what I need to do. And so yeah. And then for my event, my friend who's part of my coven was coming. Her daughter's also coming, and she's like, is it okay to invite a friend? I'm like, of course. I invite people, but I also don't. I invite people, I throw out the invites, and if people say they're interested, they're interested, but I also don't chase, hey, are you coming or anything? I also don't force it either. So I did have someone say they couldn't make it, but that they will make it next month and things like that. And I get it, it's close to Christmas. So I never stressed about that. Even if it ends up just being me, I'll still be just as happy. Like, the whole purpose is to just act as if you are, I'm creating this community. And okay, right now it's just a few of us, but I'm gonna keep showing up for me and for us until more people show up. That's basically the attitude. And even if it just ends up being me, that's still, the energy is still there that, hey, I'm hosting this event. This is what I'm showing up for, because I know that's what's happening. And so that's what I've been doing every month. There's been months where it was just ended up being me, or where it was me and my friend for a long time, and now we're starting to slowly, like, we had one new person. I had one new person last month, and now I had one new person this month. When my friend was like, can I invite my friend? I was like, yes, of course. And so she came, and she's a fellow energy worker as well, and she came with a lot of discernment, which is good. This is what I encourage people. So she was making sure that I had the right energy, that things like that. And it ended up being great. Like, she asked questions, I answered them. I had nothing to hide. I explained the energy that I work with, the kind of work that I do, and what I plan to do. And right after I explained all that, she like opened up. She was, she was like, okay, this is like what she needed to hear in order to feel comfortable enough to be in my space and my energy and stuff. And it was great. And, and she actually said, I'll be here. Because I tell her I try to host something at least once a month. And she's like, I'll be here next month. Like, she said it without question. And it was awesome. So it was really great. It was awesome. And, I'm teaching my friend's daughter too. She's very fascinated. She's on the spectrum, and she's very fascinated with the color candles that I use for my rituals. And so she's very curious about what each color represents, and she's into sewing and stuff. And so I said, you could use that kind of color magic too for, like, if you ever want to, you decide what colors you want to use for the things that you create, I can help you with that. And she seemed very interested in that. So she set her attentions with the candle and everything. And, with it being the winter solstice and the new moon, and there was 4 of us gathered, I explained how, the energy is amplified because of that. And so that was really cool too. And she was, she was telling the new person too, like, oh yeah, she telling how she has candles, and I have candles and stuff, because I had shown her that last time I had her over. And then we burned bay leaves with the things that we're leaving behind, and we were leaving behind and not taking with us to the new year, to 2026. And she was also very fascinated by that. So, we have someone new who's new to the practice, to practicing, to learning about energy, and we have someone who's she's new to our group, but she's she has her own practice that she does too, and she actually gave me very good insight about my own journey as well, which I appreciated. And she actually is the one that suggested the bay leaves, because I just had papers and stuff. She's like, oh, do you have bay leaves? I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So we all worked together to do that, and we talked about the things we're leaving behind and how we hope to grow in the next year. And we burned the bay leaves, and we had a little group hug, and it was really awesome. No, I noticed that, like, staying grounded in myself, and despite not letting myself worry about the future yet, like, I was helping my friend move, and my mind tried to worry about, okay, we got to hurry up because we still got more things to do. And I just stayed present, and I said, everything's unfolding fine. And I never got stressed. I never felt rushed. I always I remained calm. Even though, like, by the time I was at the grocery store buying stuff, it was almost like 3-4 o'clock, and I was like, oh man, I gotta, because in my mind, like, I still had to come home and feed my dogs, I still had to clean, I still had to do things. And it was like, I wasn't rushed at all. I still took my time. I just said, I'm not gonna rush. Everything's gonna be fine. Like, everything's gonna go perfect. No, I didn't say perfect, but I said everything's going to be great, because I find that there's perfection and imperfection. So when I say everything's perfect, I don't mean that it was flawless. It was perfect in that even the imperfections are perfect. And it was perfect. It was like the perfect day yesterday with just like how I started just grounding myself at the diner and then just feeling so much love like on my way because I like walking. It's like a block away, so I just walk to the diner and walk back. And on the walk back, I literally just wanted to skip back home. That's how much love I was feeling. Like I was just like so in love, but like it wasn't a romantic love towards someone. I was just so in love with me and who I am and who I've become. And that's all from the work I've been doing on myself, and I've never felt this kind of love. And we always think we know what love feels like, what true love feels like, but I honestly don't think we really do because I was married and in love. I was so in love with my husband and he was in love with me. But even that love does not compare to this kind of love I'm feeling. And it's something that we don't have to work, we don't have to earn it. We don't have to work hard and prove our worth for it. Like, we just have to be who we want to be and let go of the things inside that are no longer serving us, that are not doing us any good, that are hindering our path, are hindering us, are keeping us in these stuck patterns. They're keeping us in this limited thinking that we are limited, and that how easily do we sometimes get upset about something and give it the power to ruin our day or ruin our life even sometimes, right? Where we give it the power instead of taking that control and saying, no, yeah, this sucks. Obviously, please feel your feelings and get frustrated and angry, but then pick yourself back up and try again and do something different. Do what you feel guided to do, because that's all part of your journey. It's there to teach you something. And maybe in that moment that it's happening, you don't understand what the lesson is. And that's okay. Maybe you're not meant to know what the lesson is in that moment, but just know that it's teaching you something. It has the power to help you grow if you allow it to. Okay? But that's only if you allow it to, because if you let it take over and you let yourself get consumed by it, and then you create this victim mentality of why is this always happening to me? Why do things always work out for everyone else and not me? The universe has no choice but to keep giving you circumstances to keep feeling that way. Okay? But if you feel your feelings, get frustrated, but then decide, no, I'm not going to let this take over me. I know I'm worthy of more. I know I deserve more. And I'm going to keep going because I know that more is better is waiting for me. Better is just waiting for me to get there. Because right now my frequency, right now my energy is it's in a denser state because I've been doing things that don't serve me, that I know I shouldn't be doing, or I know I shouldn't be, or maybe I haven't done the shadow work even though I've been feeling called to go within. I've been feeling called to go to therapy. I've been feeling called to just stop stop avoiding my feelings, stop avoiding what's within me because I'm scared. Fear is your biggest obstacle. That fear of what's going to happen, or fear of the unknown, is the biggest obstacle I feel like someone can have, because it's what keeps you from becoming your best self. Because it's the fear that it's that fear because your ego feels safer being in what's familiar, what you already know, even though you already know, okay, yeah, well, people are only out there to hurt me and things like that. Your ego is comfortable in that, even though it's not very healthy place to be in. It's familiar to it. And so the reason why you're afraid is because your ego is afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of the unknown. But it doesn't mean that it's going to go wrong. The fear doesn't mean it's going to go bad. It just means it's going to be uncomfortable for a moment until you get to until you grow and expand. And then, you keep creating a new baseline as you grow. So right now your baseline is fear, but the more you leap, the least your baseline will be fear. The braver you'll become, the easier these leaps of faith will feel sometimes, because you already know, like, okay, this always teaches me something good. This only makes me a better version of myself. So I'm gonna gladly take the leap. I mean, yeah, I'm afraid of what's gonna be shown, but I know that it's only gonna expand me and make me a better person. So I'm willing to take that leap now. The hardest leap is the first one, but then it's slowly gonna get easier. And that's why I always encourage you, like, go at your own pace. Don't try to rush to get somewhere. There's no rush to get anywhere. Time is not linear. Time moves with you. Like yesterday, I was never in a rush and time never got away from me. Time was always right on time. And that's something interesting too, how it flows with you. Time flows with you, and what you embody is something that I've noticed as well. So, like, don't worry about that, about time. Time, you always have plenty of time, because your soul knows what it came here to do. So it's harder to just let go of that fear and then just trust that you're going to be taken care of. But I promise, like, the more you advance, the easier it will become to trust. But you can find this kind of love. It's there. I have found it, and I want to share it with everyone. Like, I want to share with people how they can get there too, because this place is a very dark place. That's the downside of finding this kind of love, is learning how dark this place, this earth, has become due to this conditioning that was set in place that was never what we were supposed to be doing. That's never how it was meant to be. But the upside is that finding this kind of love will now push you to create your own heaven on earth. So that's what I'm doing. I'm creating my ideal life. I'm creating my dream life through that. That's our heaven on earth. Creating that life that you want to live. That's creating heaven on earth without fear of what others are going to think. Who cares what other people think? You're here to live your life for you, not for anyone else. This is your life as this character in this story. That's who you are meant to be. What is your name? That's the character you're meant to play in this reality, in this video game, in this whatever is easier for your mind to comprehend. You're here to play a role. And so listening to your soul, that's the guidance. That's your guidance to navigate this earth, this life here. And so some of that it's going to require your faith, your undeniable, unwavering faith, like in yourself and your intuition, because there might be a point where nothing on the outside is looking like things are working out, and the only thing you're going to have to hold on to is your inner knowing. Your inner knowing that in the past you've seen how the universe works out for you, and this is just part of that expansion, and it's part of you continuing to embody that trust despite what you're shown, because what you're bringing in is so big that it needs your unwavering faith, because you're creating something that has never existed before, and your faith is the only thing that is making it real. Your embodiment of that faith is what making it real. And the only, I feel like the main, like, embodying that faith is what creates that love in yourself, because It's like, wow, I really, it's like when you fall in love with someone else. Why do you fall in love with them? Because they show you that you could trust them. They take care of you. And that's essentially what you're doing for yourself. You're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your well-being by going within. You're pouring that love into yourself in whatever way you feel guided to do, and not feel guilty about it. Not feel sorry for setting those boundaries. That's how you pour love into yourself. Whenever your person comes to mind or texts you, you set those boundaries. You pour the love into yourself instead of focusing on them. Who cares what they're doing? Who cares what they're doing? If they're not treating you how you know you are supposed to be treated, they don't deserve the time of day. They need to earn your love, because you are the embodiment of love. So you shouldn't, I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but like, why would I be giving that love away freely like that with this kind of love that I'm embodying now? I don't want to give it away that freely like that anymore. Like, now that I know how valuable that is, I'm going to keep it protected, not in a avoiding kind of way, right? I'm going to use my own discernment and my own guidance now to guide me on how to use that love without draining myself like before, without over giving, because I felt that giving and giving was the only way I was going to get love back, or I was going to prove my worth to someone. And now I don't care what someone thinks about me or thinks if I'm worthy. I'm the one that decides if they're worthy of my presence, of my energy or not. And that's what this is taking your power back, taking your power to know that you're the one who can control the energy that you give and receive. I mean, the one that you give, because what you give is what you receive, right? So I'm going to be more careful about the way I give away that kind of energy, because this path has shown me like who was taking advantage of my energy, who was benefiting from me not having boundaries, from me giving away too much. And those people fell away because they couldn't handle this new version of me. It became uncomfortable for them. It became whatever, for whatever reason. I never did anything wrong. I set my boundaries and went on my way. Or I let the people go because they were not good for me. They were not good for my energy. They lowered my energy. And that doesn't serve me. No matter how much I may love them, if they're not willing to grow with me, then I'm going to back away. And I trust that if they're meant to be a part of my life, I'll see them again someday. But I don't, at this point, I don't care if they come back or not, because they weren't good for me before. I wasn't getting what I deserved as a friend when I was the one always overgiving. And I decided enough is enough, and I'm not doing that anymore. But now I want to be more careful on how I give my energy, and I'm going to put me first, and that's how it should be. That's how we should be. Again, if that's how we, but that's how I should be. I feel our energy is more valuable than we realize. And my divine feminines especially, we've been giving it away without a thought. And it's not our fault. We didn't know that. But that's why I'm here to tell you how valuable your energy is. And those masculines don't deserve to get any of it unless they've proven their worth to us. So, all right, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go get my packing done and hit the road. But I love you. This is not an easy journey, but like I always say, it's so worth it. Every time you reach a new level of peace, a peace that also I've never experienced before. So I hope that you can reach this point, because this is a good place to be. And if more of us got to this point, I feel like this earth will be such a happier place to live in and to be in. So I trust that that's where we're headed. I've been shown that's where we're headed, but if any of this resonates, check out my page. I'm gonna get some mentorship started eventually, probably after the holidays. So if anyone's interested in that, I'd be happy to help you along your journey in any way that you need. So remember, you're doing the best that you can with what you have, and that is more than enough. So I love you. Merry Christmas, and have a wonderful week. Happy solstice.